Hello, and welcome to the Whisky Trials Live, the first one ever. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I can see there's loads of people in the chat already. Let's do a little bit of a shout out quickly. We have Erwin, multi-mission, Alan McLaughlin, Mark Slinger, multi-mission, said him already, Johnny H, Whiskey Straight Al, wrong guy, Johnny H, Whiskey Friend in the House, Chris Amir, loads of people. Russell is in. Hello, Russell. Jellyhound, Mr. Jellyhound, of course. Whiskey Resource. Andy C. Cool. Loads of people in. Well, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's a big night, not only because it's my first live event, but I am giving away 7 samples of this. Whiskey Cam. This is the Whiskey Cam. This isn't. I haven't opened it yet, by the way, guys. This is just a just the Glendronach 12. But I shall take that out of the way. You can get the most amazing view of the Glendronach 1992 27-year-old gas and the website exclusive. Or was it? abbywhiskey.com exclusive. So there we have it. That is what I'm going to be doing tonight. So it's a bit of a Glendronach fest. It's a little bit of a Glendronach chat that we're going to have. I'll explain throughout the evening how you can win one of these samples of this lovely drop. I will be opening it at some stage as well, pouring myself a dram and doing a live tasting. But first of all, I just wanted to say hello and welcome. And to any newbies out there that might not know my channel, I am Neil. This is the Whisky Trials. And this is my channel. Hopefully you can all see that. Yes, you can. So this is my channel. You can see, if I just move it, all the uploads. I've got informal whiskey reviews. I do 1 minute whiskey reviews. I do whiskey walks where I walk around and I review a whiskey at the end. I do whiskey talks. Whoa, the infamous whiskey talks, where sometimes I talk about not so interesting stuff, and then sometimes I talk about interesting stuff, and sometimes I talk about stuff that gets people's backs up a little bit. A story in a glass. Look at all those lovely thumbnails that are almost exactly the same. Story in a glass is one of the things that, it's one of those playlists, for me anyway, that I love this playlist. And it doesn't get as many views as some of the other ones, which, you know, is fine. But I really love the kind of the creativity that comes in this. And you can see here that I've got Luna Aaron's story. So Luna sent me a story. Russell sent me a story. I've got a story from Gixxer Skipper as well. I don't know if any of you know Gixxer Skipper, but he has sent me a story. I've got other stories. I've got a poem as well to read out. So there's loads of stuff coming in A Story in a Glass. And I hope you all watch it and enjoy it. Now this is my funny bit, or extras. I like to do some funny stuff. So I did a bit of a piss take of Glendivet or Glenlivet when they did the little cocktail pods and all dropped and looked amazing. But yeah, I just thought they looked like the stuff that you put in the washing machine. So I thought I'd do a kind of semi-parody video. The first one got banned because I used a bit of their footage. But I did this remake, which, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty funny. I like it. Did a little thing with Prestige Liquids. Andrew there. Funny late Christmas edition. So yeah, that is my channel. Check it out, guys. To your heart's content. But I'm sure most of you have done that already. Back to me and my glorious background. Cheers. I'm just going to take a little sip of this. I just realised I don't have any water. Why didn't I bring any water up with me? I'm going to be talking a lot and I don't have any water. Sarah, I know you're out there. Please, can you bring me some water? Thank you. Okay, so I have explained who I am. Hello and welcome, all the rest of it. Why am I doing this live? So one of the reasons that I'm doing this live, I think, is because of what I did in one of my videos with the whole collecting thing. So this bottle, Whisky Cam, this bottle. Ooh. So this is, I obviously bought this as soon as it came out, and it's been sitting around, and I was almost in two minds whether to just like keep this for a while and just look at it, because I mean obviously the price is going up, it's just going crazy. But in terms of like collecting after doing the video and like getting all your comments about it, I just thought, you know what, what's the point? I know that a load of the Glendronach Appreciation Society Facebook guys missed out on it. So if you frequent Facebook, go over to the Glendronach Appreciation Society Facebook page. Those guys, obviously, it's part of, you know, this is the bottling for them. A lot of the guys there missed out on it, and I felt like, why am I sitting on this? Why am I keeping it? Why am I, you know, doing whatever I'm doing with it? Didn't make sense to me, and I thought, I felt like I needed to share it. I felt like I had to get it out there, and there were so many people that, like I said, were disappointed they didn't get a bottle, that I thought, right, let's do this. Let's share it. And so that's part of the reason. Obviously, there is completely selfish reasons as well, that I want to further the channel. I want people to subscribe, so please hit that subscribe button, and all the rest of it. So Sarah has given me some water. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, can you give me some comments on the audio? Because Sarah's saying that it's a little bit crackly. She's saying it's not too bad, but it's a little bit crackly. So if I can get some comments on how the audio is, I might be able to do something about that. Maybe I'm just like shouting into the microphone a little bit. Maybe I should just be a little bit quieter. So, while you guys are telling me how the audio is and all the rest of it, let me just run through some things. So, like I said, various ways to win tonight. So 7 samples, 7 ways to win. Very simple. I'm not going to give them all up just now because I don't want you all running away and doing the necessary things that you need to do to win them. Because it's not just going to be like, because you're here, you necessarily get a chance, although one of them is that. But there's 7 different ways, so I'm going to get to that. So let's just start off by saying the first way to win, stick a comment in the chat. So you're here, say hello to everybody, or just say hi, I'm here, or say what you're drinking, whatever it is. I've got, how many people have I got in? 30 people. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, really happy with that. So I've got 30 people in here. That means 30 people come in an hour's time. Sarah's going to give me a hat full of all the names with people that have commented in the live chat. So make sure you comment in the live chat, because that's how you enter the draw for the first chance to win the 50ml sample. Okay, secondly, okay, right, let's get this over with. So the second way to win is to go to the website, browser. So, second way to win is go to the website, which is here. There's my lovely website, which I'm not very happy with, but you know, it is what it is. Go to the website, thewhiskitrials.com/shop. Go to the shop bit. This is another way to enter a draw. So anybody that buys me a dram, buys a collapsible cup, buys a hip flask, or buys a coin will have an entry to another draw to win another sample. So that's the second way to win. Back to me and my lovely little attic room. Okay, I've shown you the shop. I've shown you 2 ways to win. And by the way, just so you know and have a bit of peace of mind, the website is completely secure. It's what I do for a living. It's got an SSL on it. I use Stripe and PayPal, which obviously have their own security measures and everything. But the website's completely secure. It's what I do for a living, so no worries there. The only thing is, of course, is that when you make any order, I now have your address. So it could be that you may just receive some nice things from me in the post in the future. Samples or freebies or, whatever. Right. With that said, let me have a look at the comments. What are people saying? Whisky Straight Ale, love those wee cups, first class. Whisky Straight Ale, did you buy one of those cups? I think you did, didn't you? You got one of those cups. Have you used it yet? Whisky Straight Ale saying, you are clear, but it is crackly. Oh no, we don't want crackly sounds, mate. We don't want crackly sounds. Let's see if I can do something about that. Oops. I've got to do everything backwards. Okay. Is the sound any better? Check it out, though, guys. I mean, I wanted to be the first whiskey tuber that did 4K, that streamed in 4K, but it comes with very obvious problems. And those obvious problems are that you need a better broadband connection than I've got, and also YouTube doesn't support certain things when you broadcast in 4K. So you don't get that, for instance, you don't get the low latency, it's called. So I can't, obviously, as I'm talking, it takes about 7 to 10 seconds for you guys to see it, and then you comment on what I'm saying. So everything's a bit behind. And if you broadcast in 4K, it means that stuff's just, it's longer than 7 or 10 seconds. It takes much longer. So I decided that I'm recording in 4K, but I'm downsampling to 1080p. So hopefully this looks pretty good on your screens, guys. I guess most of you are potentially using a mobile to watch this. But if you're on a PC or you've got me on your TV or whatever, hopefully it looks great. Look at the bokeh. It's all blurry. Like, if I put my head back here. Now the Glendronach is in focus. And now it isn't. Oh, you gotta love that bokeh. You got to love the bokeh. Okay, where are we at? Yes, I bought one and I used it. Apparently I was the first. Do you know what? I think you were. I think you were, Al. I think you were the first one to buy it. And do you know what? I think you've been the only one to buy it. I've given away quite a few, but I think you're the only person to buy one of my expandable cups. Or collapsible cups, depending on which way you look at it. The hip flasks are awesome, Mr. Russell Brinklow. They smell fantastic. Sorry, I just dropped my phone there. They smell fantastic because they are wrapped in some kind of wood. It reminds me of the wood that you get in a sauna, and that is great as well because sometimes that's a whiskey note that you pick up on the nose. Late long, Sarah saying the delay is around 15 seconds max. Yeah, it kind of varies. Anything else? Luna 12 in the glass tonight. Lee J. Brown. I had one last night, and I got to say, it's a top dram. I came to it late. I came to it late in a way because I bought it in pubs a lot, but I never bought an actual bottle for some reason. I don't know why. It just never seemed to quite click. I think maybe, do you know what? I think it was probably kind of expensive. It's never on a deal. It's reassuringly expensive. You know, it's like the Stella Artois of whiskies a bit. The whiskey friend. I think Al deserves a Glendronach. I don't know about that. What kind of Glendronach? See, that's the thing. We've got so much choice these days. And talking of Glendronachs, I'm just going to get my water out of the way after I take a little sip of it. So, I am having a Glendronach 12 little tipple before we get to the big boy. Let me just put that over there. The Glendronach 12. So, let me just tell you why I love Glendronach, a bit about how I got into Glendronach. And it's pretty much down to one man, and he's in the chat, Russell Brinklow. He sent me a bottle of Glendronach 12, I think for my birthday. It arrived, and I thought, do you know what? Yeah, looks alright. Looks quite nice. It's a 12-year-old. I've had 12-year-olds before. It's probably not that special. You know, it's not going to be... It's not gonna do anything much to me. And the label's, you know, fairly subdued. It's not like, you know, it doesn't need to shout. It is 43% though, which got my attention because at that point I was pretty much used to the sort of 40%ers. I hadn't really broadened my horizons in terms of ABV. So when I opened it and I smelt it for the first time, I was actually blown away. I was completely blown away that a whiskey could even smell like that, even be that complex. It was completely a game-changing whiskey for me, and it became a staple. It became a comfort dram. So, you know, if I'm looking at my bottles and I'm looking at my collection and I think, what do I want? If I've got a Glendronach 12 up there, I'll reach for that. Normally, you know, 7 times out of 10, I'll just be like, you know, hard day at work or, you know, whatever it might be, the Glendronach 12 gets reached for, and I know it's going to give me that comforting feeling, that relaxation that I want, and it is that kind of whiskey for me. I have to say though, this one, which is I checked the bottling of it, is 2019. I've not enjoyed this one as much as I have others in the past. So, I don't know. I don't want this to be like a Glendronach downer straight away, but I sometimes worry about the future of Glendronach in terms of obviously they've got a reputation for putting older malts than what's displayed on their bottles, you know. So if it's a 12, it might have 14, 15, 16, whatever. If it's the 18, is well known for being like 24 to 26-year-old. And I just wonder now if they've kind of caught up with themselves, they've made that reputation, and maybe it's, you know, closer to a 12 and it's closer to an 18 now. I think that's probably going to happen, despite what they said at the distillery last time I was there. But it's still there. It's still coming to me. It's still bringing back the memories of the first time that I tried it, and really fell in love with it. Okay, so where are we? So I've talked about the Glendronach 12 a little bit. I'd also like to talk about the Glendronach 18. You can see multiple sort of bottles behind me, all empty, unfortunately. But the 18 is one of those drams for me where I can just sit and just smell it. I just hold it underneath my nose, and I don't need to drink it. It's very rare that I got a whiskey that I don't want to drink because it smells so good. There's a few that have done that to me, but the Glendronach 18, the last bottle that I had, I remember going to bed one night and I was like, last, nighttime dram, wee nip before bed, and I was just sitting there and I was watching something on the TV in bed, and I was just like, I just lost myself in the Glendronach. And I didn't even drink it. I was just smelling it, and it was under my nose for at least half an hour. And that's an incredible testament to how amazing a Glendronach can be, and actually how amazing whiskey can be in general. It's not just Glendronach that can do that. There's plenty of other whiskies that can do it as well, I am sure. But Glendronach was the first one for me, so it was like this game-changing whiskey. So it has a place. It has a place in my heart, absolutely. Okay, at this stage, we have 2 ways to win, which we have discussed. So obviously, write a comment in the live chat. Sarah's going to note down your name. She's going to give me a hat at about 11 o'clock, and I'm going to pull out a winner. Is that the only way I've said so far? Is there any other ways that I've said? No. Secondly, you can buy something from the shop or buy me a dram, and I'll put you into a draw for another bottle. So, with all we've said about the 12 and the 18, my question, I'm getting there. Look at that. See, you don't get that. You don't get that on other Whiskey Tuber streams. Look at that. You can't see me. Oh, the bokeh. Not massively impressive legs on the 12, but it's not bad. So, as I was saying, the 12. Is there a better one? Comments, please. Let's get the chat going. Is there a better 12 than the Glendronach 12? I have held this up as the bar for me. So as soon as I tried this, I was like, okay, every other 12 must make this bar. And most have failed, I have to say. There is not many out there that come close. I will tell you one that comes very close, if not completely exceeds it in some ways, depending on what you want. It's not one that I would necessarily reach for all the time because it's a big hitter. It's very complex and quite taxing on the taste buds, if that makes sense. The Glendronach 12, albeit quite an easy drinker, it's still got that complexity. It's just enough. But the Edredour 12, Caledonia, that is a machine. That malt just blows me away. I absolutely love it. It is very big, it's very bold, it's very punchy, it's got very strong flavours, but I find that it's well balanced. It does sometimes take a little bit too much to think about. It's a little bit too strong on the nose and all the rest of it. It's not always what I'm looking for. And of course, it isn't part of their core range. So it's, I guess, a limited release. It's not going to happen, it's not going to be around forever. So comparing it to the Glendronach 12, it's a little bit weird, but again, this is changing as well. Like I've already discussed. I think this 12 is potentially different from when I first had it. So the Edredour 12, definitely a contender for me for the best 12. What else is there? What's everybody saying about the 12? Springbank 12, Cast Strength, Macallan Fine and Rare. Hello, and thank you for being here. Yes, and no. I have 2. And I had one. It's pretty much down almost finished. I want to do a review on it. It was nice, but it didn't blow me away because I went onto the Springbank the Springbank Facebook page, and I said, look, I've just had the Springbank 10, which was amazing. Absolutely blew me away. One of the best 10s I've ever had, actually, guys. What next from Springbank? Where should I go? And everybody said 12 cast strength. And I was like, okay. So I bought 2 on auction, 2016 and 2017, or 2017 and 2018, I can't remember. But obviously they've got different ABVs, different releases. And it was good. I'm not sure if I was ready for it at the time, which is why I want to revisit it and why I've got another bottle. But yeah, it was really good, but it wasn't like totally blowing me away. And let's not forget that it was also cast strength. And comparing a cast strength to a 43% whiskey is not exactly fair. I think the Edredauer's 46, so it's more of a fair comparison. Well, we got Ben Riech 12. Russell Brinklow, he is saying it is probably beating it just now. I don't know. I've never had a Ben Riech. Apart from at yours. I think I have had a Ben Riech. Don't know if it was the 12, but I think at your house I did have one. What else is everybody saying? Buna 12. I mean, of course, a Buna 12 is kind of always there, and you know what? It's like it never seems to change. It's always good. Like I tried that on the very beginning of my whiskey journey 5 years ago, staying up north, had a Buna 12, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. And my palate wasn't as evolved as it is now. And then I've had one recently, and I'm like, it's good. It's really good. So Buna 12 is up there. But I tell you what, it didn't do for me. It didn't give me that life-changing kind of, whoa, what? This is what a whiskey can be. I mean, it is great. It's well balanced, but it's not a wow. It's not a whew. Didn't blow me away. It's just super steady and good. What else we got? Kilkerran 12 from Hellswood. Hellswood. Good Scottish name there, Hellswood. Yeah, Kilkerran 12. I have a Kilkerran 12. It is very nice indeed. I think for me, coming from a point of the sweeter casks, it took me a while to get into peat and smoke, let's say. That said, the Kilkerran heavily peated batch 2 is one of my absolute favourites. It is, what a dram that is, and the value for money, the cast strength, just everything was just perfect. The burnt marshmallows, like, just talking about it makes me want to go and get it and try one. But the 12 didn't quite have the impact as the heavily peated batch 2 did. That's not to say that if I tried the Kilkerran 12 before the heavily peated batch 2 that, you know, it might have been like, oh, this is a contender. Another one that I've just thought of, which I've only just recently tried, was a Mortlach 12. Never had this before. Didn't really think about it. Didn't even know it existed really until I saw it on a deal on Master of Malt, I think it was. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, this could be a Glendronach 12 beer. And I said that to Sarah. She didn't seem to think so, but I did. And I'll tell you why. Because some of the time, what I like to do from a whiskey is get this takeaway. I call it the takeaway taste, or the takeaway flavour, or the takeaway nose, whatever I take away from it. And what I took away from the Mortlach was a tobacco-iness. Yeah, like a real sort of tobacco-iness. And I'm sure some people don't like that, but it kind of reminded me of being a kid, or, you know, a teenager and smoking, and it has that smell of a cigarette that's just fresh out of the packet. and it's not lit obviously, but just that nice dried tobacco smell. It's so good. I don't think it does. I don't think it does beat the Glendronach 12 in terms of taste. But that smell, that takeaway that I got from it, it's quite drying. It's also quite numbing, I found. A little bit too much. And if it wasn't for that, then it may have taken the top spot. Anybody else got anything good to say about the 12s? There we go, like a Yamazaki 12. Lester Brenner, thank you for being here, and thank you for your suggestion. Yamazaki 12 though, such a Scotch man. I really am. I just can't break out of it right now. It's probably never going to happen unless they send me something. Joe Holmes, Glengarry 12 is also a fab whiskey. Deanston 12 from the Whisky Friend, not bad either, Neil. Yeah, do you know what? With Deanston, I've only had some of the older ones, and I'm kind of undecided. Let's put it that way. I don't want to diss them too much, because I don't know. I do like it. It was some cask finishes that I had, and actually the Palo Cortado sample that I had, the little thing, was absolutely amazing. One of the best whiskies that I've had. Let's grab a fly here. Sorry. Hope there's no fly lovers in. I may have just killed it. Blair Athol is my personal favourite 12, a whiskey bond. Do you know what? I've only just found Blair Athol. Whiskey Wims, Stuart Whiskey Wims, is always banging on about Blair Athol. So when the whiskey broker came out with that Blair Athol cask strength, I may have bought a couple of them. Man, I mean, it's getting to the stage that's like, obviously it was aged in a red barrique for its entirety of its life, and that is just sublime, absolutely amazing. It's one of the best whiskies I've probably ever had. Really hit the spot for me. So I've never had the Blair Athol 12, but if that was anything to go by, then it's probably fantastic. But yeah, the Glengarry 12. Do you know what? I think Glengarry, they don't get mentioned that much, do they? Old Glengarry, and I'm not sure why that is. I think they might have priced themselves a little bit high, and when you actually taste their stuff, it reminds me a little bit of Ben Nevis. So it's a little bit rough around the edges, let's say. So maybe they're kind of niching a little bit for that. Okay, right. I'm gonna stop looking at the chat, and I'm gonna get on with my itinerary. I've written down everything, by the way, guys, that I wanted to talk about, because I had this horrible feeling that like the camera was gonna go on, and I was gonna have how many people? Sarah says there's 40 people in the chat, or that have been in the chat. So that's amazing. But yeah, I had this horrible feeling that when I switched on the camera and there was going to be people chatting to me, I was just going to go and just not be able to say anything. So I've written out an itinerary, so even if I do go, I can still read and go, okay, that's where I was. So I've done that. I've talked about Glendronach 12, my love for the 18, comfort drams, blah de blah, and my worry for the future. Is anybody else worried for the future with Glendronach? Have they reached their peak? Are they another Macallan? Let me hear it in the comments. Who agrees with me? Who disagrees? Is the 12 the same? Is the 18 ever going to be the same? Can they keep up with this old stuff in the bottles? I don't think they can. I think it's gonna. They've really great marketing ploy. Like, get this brand, this feel, the passion. People like me banging on about it. Get that going, and then make yourself another Macallan. It's not really another Macallan though, because they don't have the output. So, but still, they can be bumping up the prices. Right. So. Right, oh, I've done it. Well, I've got to the point. I have got to the point where I've got to open the belter. Okay, Whiskey Cam. Whiskey Cam. Whiskey Cam. Ooh, Whiskey Cam. Alrighty. Well, I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the Whiskey Cam moment. And I'm just going to take a little sip of Glendronach 12. Cast it aside. Cast it aside like I didn't even need it. Who needs the Glendronach 12 when you have the Glendronach 27? Right. You even got the glass that came with it. And of course, the Whiskey Trials coin, available at stores near you, which I already told you about, whiskytrials.com/shop. Buy one of these and you're automatically entered. So if you buy one within a week, I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you buy me a dram, buy a coin, buy a cup, buy a hipper, you will be automatically entered into a draw for a sample of the Glendronach 27. Okay, it's time, guys. It's time. This is the Glendronach little... I always call them cups. Sarah says that they're not cups. But yeah, it's the Glencairn I got with it. Let's get it on me. Alright. It's cost me, I think it's 250 quid. 250 bucks for this Glendronach. And I think I've already seen it at auction going for like 350 and stuff, which is kind of crazy. Is any bottle worth that, really? Oh, there we go. Sarah's here already. I have not even really opened it. I just like got the cork off.
I just commented saying, "Oh my god, it's opening it! I'm going."
It's lighter than I thought it would be. This is one that's not been used. So yeah, Sarah wants one straight away. I'll take the neck board. There you go, my lovely.
Cheers, bud.
All right. There we go. Stay. Do not fall. Quick view on the old Whiskey Cam. There she blows. Ooh, looks dark. Looks dark. Oh, by the way, yeah, have I shown you this screen? Oh look. Oh look. Oh, I can do myself and the chat. This is how much effort I've put into it, guys. I've got buttons that I can press on my keyboard, and I go, oh, it's me. And then I go, oh, it's the chat. And then I go, oh, it's the Whiskey Cam. And then I go, oh, it's the browser. And I'm down at the bottom. Whiskey chat. Anybody saying anything funny, anything cool? Macallan Fine and Rare says, let it sit for a bit. Sorry, shouting. Did you hear that, Sarah? Let it sit for a bit. Don't just gulp it down. Sarah's got an awful habit of like not even smelling music, just straight in her face. I'm like, yeah, stop. All right. Slonja, everyone. Slonja, exactly. Right, put it back on me. It's all about me. It's my life. There we go. I'm loving my camera, I have to say, guys. This is cool. Can't quite get the old spin on it, holding it like a FUD though. Right. She's got some legs. Straight away, what I would say about this is that I also have a 2006 13, which is Oloroso, and I believe this is Pedro Jimenez, yeah. So obviously different sherry barrels, but straight away with the 13, you get a real punch on the nose. It's really like cast strength kind of punchy, but this, it's almost subdued. Like I can stick my nose right in it. It's 54.5%. There we are. I'm getting some of the alcohol tingles right there. Sarah, did you just take a drink of that? I can tell she did because I heard the glass go down. Sarah's amazed. Sarah's like in love with this dram. She's just shouting through how amazing it is. I'm sure she'll comment. So, obviously, we all know and love Glendronach, except Jellyhound, if you're still in. Jellyhound doesn't really drink whiskey, but he's my business partner and he's very supportive, so he's here to do that kind of thing. But I honestly think that you would like this, Julian. I gave him an Edredauer cast strength 13-year-old. One of the best whiskies ever made, and he drank it and he liked it, so there's hope for him yet. But so we all love and know the Glendronach kind of profiles. I think this, for me, out of all the Glendronachs that I've had, I have had 1992s before as well. I've never owned a full bottle, but I have had nips and stuff out of the bottle. This is like proper next level, I've got to say, on the nose. It's really starting to come to me. I'm just going to put my coin on it. I'm not going to take a sip yet. I'm going to take Macallan Fine and Rare's advice. As you can see, got my coin, Donkey Kong, straight through the glass. Yep, so while that sits with the coin on it, I want to discuss another way that you can win a sample. Now, I'm a bit of a geek. I do web development for a living, so yes, bit of a geek. And one of the things that we like, I've played a bunch of games. I don't really get time to play games anymore, but in the past I played games. And I love my arcade machine. I love Donkey Kong. I'm pretty good, not bad at Donkey Kong. I can hold my own. If you guys can play Donkey Kong, by the way, and you have a high score, stick it in the comments. Let's see how you compare to my high score. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but pretty good, not bad. Anyway, games. Konami, Japanese company, makes games. They made Easter eggs. They put Easter eggs in their games, and an Easter egg is something that's hidden. So in Konami's case, it was a series of button pushes and up and downs on the arcade machine. So it was like up, down, left, right, button, left, right, whatever. But it was 10 sort of keystrokes, 10 movements of the stick or the buttons, right? So there's a clue. 10 things, just like Konami, right? That is a clue. And it's the only one you're going to get on how to win this for now. Okay, so with that bit of history, with that knowledge that Konami used to put Easter eggs in their games, I have put an Easter egg in my website. Julian, by the way, Jellyhound, you're not allowed to play this game. You have ways and means of probably cheating, so please do not play. So let me show you where it is. Oh, 2 secs. Maybe a dram, collapsible cup, flask. Oh yeah, 2 secs. Go back here. Right. So what I've got to do is I've just got to make this live. Where is it? Products. So I'm about to launch a product on the whiskytrials.com. Actually, I haven't tested this. I probably should have tested it. Julian will be laughing at me right now for not testing it. But here we go. I hope this all works fine. Sure, people will shout at me if it doesn't. Okay, that is published. So if I go to the browser and I refresh that, doesn't have a picture on it. Anyway, I'll add the picture. As you can see though, the Glendronach 27-year-old gas exclusive sample is £1 million. Right? So obviously nobody's going to buy that, and that's the point. Because the Easter egg on the website, remember, 10 things, 10 characters potentially, will provide you the ability to check out with that product for nothing. So you'll get £1 million discount if you can crack my code. So good luck. I hope you guys, I mean, honestly, I think this is quite a cryptic one. I'm not sure anybody's going to get it for a while. I might be surprised somebody gets it in the first 5 minutes and I'll be like, shit. But if nobody gets it, I'm going to drip feed little clues in my Facebook group and on my Instagram. So make sure and follow my Facebook group, Whisky Trialers, and my Instagram, The Whisky Trials. And I'm gonna drop some clues in there to help you guys, because honestly, I don't think I'd get it. It's quite a cryptic one, but this is the good fun that we're having, right? This is why it's good. So this third way to win is to be on the website and think about what I've just said with Konomi. Yeah, that's the challenge. That's all the clues that I really want to give you until, like tomorrow or the next day. If nobody gets it, I'll like drip feed some other kind of clues, and then you've just got to crack the code essentially. 10. Just remember 10. All right, enough said. Just me. Okay. So let's just go to the whiskey cam for a second as I take my coin off an expert so you can see it and keep it there. Yeah, good. All right, let's get into it. I'm away to taste it. It's massive stewed fruits. It's really starting to give me the nose burn that was lacking straight away on it, which was weird. I kind of thought that I would get that straight away, but now I'm getting a bit more of the burn when I stick my neb in there. Getting orchard fruits as well. Kind of like green apples and like pear skin. Like just when you shove a ripe pear up to your nose. Sugars, brown sugars, caramels, toffee apples. Bit of candy floss, kind of icing sugar dusting. It's all there. This is why I love Glendronach. If you like a sweet dram, and you got a good sense of smell, then Glendronach is just like insane for the amount of flavors, the amount of smells that you can get out of it. Yeah, so good. Okay, I'm going to taste it. Wow. Oh, it's funny. Sometimes you get the raisin hit immediately, but with this, I didn't get it. I got it was almost like a mulled wine, kind of oranges and spices that I got first, and then as it went down and I kind of moved my mouth I got really still. It's really sticky actually. It's like treacle. But I got the raisin taste after I got all the spices and wow, that is I can see why it's called the belter. Anyway, that's quite incredible. Okay, one more sip, and I'm gonna slush it about my mouth a little bit because what I tend to find is when I slush it under my tongue. I don't know if you guys find this as well, but when I slush it under my tongue, I get more of the sort of peppery notes. Who asked that? Wait a minute. The whiskey friend. Well, he's just taking the piss. Alan, it's of course it's nowhere near as good as a 12-year-old. Why waste your money on the 27-year-old? Like it's hundreds of pounds down the drain just by three 12-year-olds, and you've got a 36-year-old, right? So why bother with the 27-year-old? Right, this time I'm going to slush it under my mouth. I was distracted. It's all I ever want to do. Just give it a little slush under my tongue. I'm totally amazed when I watch the German guys. Is it Whisky.com? I actually stopped watching them because I just got a little bit weirded out by the fact that they use the whiskey like mouthwash. I don't know. Does anybody else feel like that? It just if you put high strength alcohol around your face too much, it's just going to numb everything. You're going to nullify your senses. I just don't get how you can actually get any flavors by treating it like goddamn Listerine. Anyway, rant over. And yes, I did get more pepper. It is definitely not overwhelming. Very well balanced. Definitely got an oily and almost sticky treacle-like finish. Very good. Inspiring, perhaps. And let me get on to another way to win. And by the way, I'm gonna list all the ways to win in the description when this gets posted on YouTube afterwards. And you can always email me at neil@thewhiskeytrials.com, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about it. But inspiring drams. The 12 inspired me, and I wrote a story about it. And the very short story was called, what was it called? It was called Her First Fairground. And essentially, the story came to me as I was smelling a Glendronach 12. It smelled like a fairground to me. It had all those sweet smells. It had the toffee apples, the candy floss, the kind of popcorn, all this kind of stuff going on. And it made me think of a fairground. And then I thought, how would this start into a little story? And because Glendronach to me was my first experience of this, I felt like it was only fair that in the story it was the first experience for the character. So I've got this little girl in the character in my story, who experiences a fairground for the first time, and she's with her dad, and she goes on a roller coaster and experiences all these smells and sights and sounds and all the rest of it. But I always try and relate it to the whiskey at some point. So there's a point where she's up on the roller coaster and it's going, gets to the top, and she goes, "Oh, I'm feeling a little bit scared," and she stuffs her head in her dad's side, gives her dad a cuddle into his jacket, and it's a leather jacket, and she gets that nice comforting smell of leather, which I can get right now. So check out my story in a glass playlist. Check out the Glendronach one, her first fairground. But the reason I'm talking about it is that it is another way to win. I want your stories. I want a story in a glass to proper take off. Like, I don't feel like it gets enough views right now. It is like the most creative, or one of the most creative outlets I've got on the channel. And it's your creative outlet as well. Like, Luna has already given me a story, Russell's already given me a story, like I said, Gixxer Skipper has given me a story, I've got poems to come out, I've got all sorts of stuff. So please send me your Glendronach stories to be in with a chance to win a sample. So that's another way to win. It can be a story, it can be a poem, something that I can read out online anyway, read out on YouTube. And the best one will win the Glendronach, a sample of Glendronach Whisky Cam coming up, will win a sample of this. And I think probably what's going to happen, hopefully I get a few stories in, and if I don't pick yours as the winner, but I still want to read it out and use it, then I think you'll probably win something else. I think I'll definitely send you something, a bit of merch or another sample, maybe a Blair Athol, Cast Strength, something. You will get something for sending me a story if I read it out on YouTube. But the winner, the best story or the best poem, is going to get a sample of Glendronach 27. And it does it have to be a story about Glendronach? Nah, I don't suppose it does. I think it would be nice. I think the winner probably should be a Glendronach. So yeah, I think the story should probably be about Glendronach. So tell me a story. What's the story in your glass? There's a few stories in this, I'm sure. It's absolutely amazing. This kind of reminds me of the 18 a bit, where I could just sit and smell it for ages and not drink it. Go away. Even the flies love it. Yeah, getting loads of sweet notes now. Just nose is getting pounded with sweet notes. It's almost like cake icing, the marzipan. It is almost like, you know, when your mum or whoever just opens the Christmas cake thing that's been getting sweating in the brandy for a while in the cake tin, and they just open it up and it's the first smell. It's been in there for like a couple of weeks. I know people use that a lot, that whole kind of Christmas cake thing, but well, if the shoe fits. Oh wow, that is I think you need to spend some time with this, for sure. Macallan, fine and rare. You are right. Flies. Yes. Whisky Cam. Need to spend some time. I've got my coin back on there. Preserving those smells and tastes. Right. Where have we got to? I've told you a few ways to win now. A few ways to win. I've done the Easter egg. I've done the story. Yep, done that. Okay, where else have we got? Let's check some of the comments out, I think. Oh, Sarah's called it. Sarah's called it. Okay, folks, last 10 seconds to comment to be in the draw. Wow, is it that time already? Yeah, she's counting down. She's counting down. It's been an hour since the start. So we want to get the draw done at 11. So she's got to print out all the names, cut them up, put them in a hat, and then give them to me, and I'm going to draw out that lucky winner. Prestige liquids. Yes, it is natural colour. Does it say it on the bottle though? I would just like assume with Glendronach that it is. I mean, how on earth would they colour it so much that it would be like that? Why would you? I mean, why would you even touch a 27-year-old whiskey with colouring? Yikes! You need to be owned by Diageo to do something like that, surely. I have no doubt that it is. Where does it say? Interesting, no, it doesn't. I don't see it on the bottle. I don't see it, but I assume it. I mean, why would you? Why would you bother? It doesn't make sense that you would adulterate that. It is so dark. I mean, even the E150 isn't that dark. I mean that. The Glendronach 12. Yeah, I mean you could say that might have E150 in it, but like the 27, it's just too dark. It wouldn't. I don't think it would make a difference. Does the Glendronach 12 even say it? It's a good point though. I mean, it's a good point. They don't say it. And normally what I say is if they don't say it, I assume it's got it in it. Damn, you might have got me there, Andrew. You got me. No, I don't think the 12 says it either. I've got the 12 case here. So you've sent me on a little mission to prove that Glendronach does it right. Scanning. Ha ha! Where is it? There. Can't really see it. But yes, the 12 says non-chill filtered and natural colour. So if the 12 says it, then the 27 must have it. Okay, draw is closed. Sarah is putting together the names. We shall pick that out in about 12 minutes or so. Russell's saying, don't be so mistrusting. Took Diageo out of my mouth. Yeah, well, they do like their old E150. I think they're probably the biggest buyers of it. Who even makes it? Us whiskey people should get together. And like it's like animal rights. It's like whiskey rights. We should storm the factory and like pour out the E150. Yes, make some videos about it. A whiskey bond. He says, I'm drinking a 27-year-old malt cask Buna. Oh my God. Man, that sounds pretty amazing. Has anybody else got any 27-year-olds that they might be drinking? Or maybe they're saving? Let's open. Let's open them. Come on. It's the night for 27-year-olds. Woo! 27 again. If only I was 11 years younger. Alright, I'm going back in. I'm going back in. And as I go back in, I'm going to tell you about another way to win. I've lost count on where I'm at on how many things there is to win. I think this is number 5. So all you have to do is email me a picture. So this is really for my fans, the few of them that there is. If you have one of these, focus on it. Come on, focus. Come on, you fucker. There we go. If you have one of them, that is my whiskey coin. If you have one of them, and you have a Glendronach, and you have a Glencairn, please pour the Glendronach in your Glencairn, put my coin on top, take a picture of it, and send it to me at neil@thewhiskeytrials.com. That is my email address. Feel free to use it whenever you like. But every person that sends me a picture of a Glendronach in a glass, in a Glencairn, with my coin on top, I don't suppose it needs to be a Glencairn. Anything that my coin fits on top. A Glencairn or one of those other wee fluty jobbies, which I quite like. Yeah, send it to me via email, and I will enter you into the draw to win a sample of one of these. Yeah, man, you need this in your life, really. It's such a kind of tear for me. I'm so torn with these bottles because I'm like, wow, what an experience, and I'm actually really enjoying the whole kind of live giveaway kind of thing. So I think I might do it some more. If I ever buy these kind of bottles again, this is probably the thing I'm going to do with it, because it feels right. It feels like I'm doing the right thing, and it's nice, and obviously whiskey's made to be shared and drunk. But I'm very torn in the way that, like, 250 quid for a bottle of whiskey. It's like, is it worth it? I mean, is it worth it? I'd love right now to have a Glendronach 18, which cost me 90, 100 quid. So, much less than this. And compare the two. And compare the feeling that I get from them. I'd like to think that, this 27-year-old is extra special, but obviously you can have these outside influences, like we're discussed. This is one of the things I've learned from the collection video. No, not the collection video. The Eric and Ralphie video. Is that the biases are there no matter what. So unless I'm blind tasting this, I'm completely biased. I'm already biased because I spent 250 quid on this, so I really want to like it so that it's like justified my 250 quid, which is another reason why I probably wanted to give half of it or more than half of it away, because then I'm less biased, right? If I'm giving a lot of this away, I'm less biased because I'm not seeing it as something that I'm going to consume. It's not just for me. So now I can be a bit more free and open with my opinion about it, I think. Oh, and by the way, Russell Brinklow, you got me started on Glendronach, so you are part of my story. You cannot win any of these samples. It's illegal. You cannot win any of my 7 samples that I'm giving away. And the reason is because I'm already going to send you one. So I'm giving away 8 samples. In fact, I'm giving away more because Sarah's drinking some too. So I'm going to get a very small percentage of this bottle. And you know what? I don't care. It is what it is. And I think I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment from other people's reactions to this, because Sarah's reaction already is almost made it worthwhile. Oh, by the way, Sarah, did we get any Donkey Kong scores in? Does anybody play Donkey Kong? Anybody got Donkey Kong scores that they want to compete with? I know I mentioned that earlier. Scrolling through the chat just now just to see if anybody's. Macallan Fine and Rare saying, what's the ABV? The ABV is 54.5, my friend. Whiskey Friend is saying, does Sarah down them like John Wayne? Yep, she does. And she also walks like him. No, I don't see any scores. I don't see any big scores. I don't see any big numbers coming up for Donkey Kong. Anybody? Anybody got any Donkey Kong scores? No? I'm afraid to put them up. Yay! Okay, we've got a picture already from the Whiskey Friend. He says he's emailed me. I've not got it open because I'm running everything on a laptop. So I'm running 4K, downsampled to 1080p, with all these different things going on. So I thought I'm gonna close everything down just to make sure, nothing goes wrong. So I've been pretty good so far. I've not even seen any buffering. I don't know about you guys, but I've not seen any buffering on my YouTube screen. So it's pretty good. I'm happy. Right. Okay. So already pictures of of my coin atop a Glencairn with a Glendronach in it. Hopefully a Glendronach in it. Don't try and cheat me, Alan. It is a Glendronach you're drinking, right? Yeah? It's not... Was it a Springbank you put in there? We shall see. I can tell by the colour. I'm that good. I am that good. Right. So, last 2 ways to win. Ooh, okay. So the last two ways to win is, one is going to be very simple. So another one is just, you need to go to my video, which I'll just bring up in a second. Browser. All right. So, one other way to win, guys. This is so easy. Everybody can do this. How many people have I got? I don't know. It doesn't really tell me how many people I've got. Okay. So if there's 40 people in the chat, whatever it is, 26, 40, I don't know. However many people in the chat, this is such an easy way to get into the draw. And by the way, I should say, you can only win once. I'm not going to send, if I draw your name out of like 2 hats, you're only going to get 1. I don't think that's fair that you can win 2. So it's 7 samples going to 7 different people. So Whiskey Friend, I'm sorry. If I pull your name out of 3 different hats, you're only getting 1 sample, mate. Sorry. But this is a really easy way to win. All you got to do is go over to my video, which is an ode to Glendronach. Now, I visited Glendronach with Russell, and a great time was had. We had an amazing time. I failed miserably to take good footage. I've learnt a lot since I was there, and to be fair on me, there's a lot of kind of pressure walking about with the rig that I've got, and I didn't have my big gimbal, so it was a lot of the footage is kind of shaky. Anyway, an ode to Glendronach. There's nobody else. That music is like so stuck in my head all the time because I made this video, obviously. So, an ode to Glendronach. There's nobody else. All you got to do, guys, is comment on the video, and I'm going to use an app online where it just grabs everybody that's made a comment, it weeds out any duplicates, and it'll pick me a winner. And I'll do that live, or I'll do it at some point, and I'll I think everything's going to be a week. So you've got a week. You've got 7 days to do everything. So hopefully next Friday I'm going to be announcing a lot of winners for all this stuff. And yeah, so, you know, don't just comment on the video though. Give it a watch. Check it out. Look at this. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at the footage. See, just like everything's wrong about this. Just like, why didn't I do it better? Still, I've learnt a lot about cameras and that since then, but this was all about the transitions. And there we go. Love that transition. There's Claire. Great tour guide. Malt mill. That was Russell. Hey, Russell, you're on TV. Whoosh. Into the wash bags. There we go. Anyway, you guys can watch that. And just leave a comment. That's all you got to do. I'm going to do a draw from the people in the comments. Simple as that. Easy peasy. And remember, guys, anything that you buy from now until next Thursday, and then I'll draw on the Friday. So you can buy me a dram. You can buy a collapsible dram cup, a hip flask, or a whiskey coin. You automatically go into a draw as well. And of course, the Easter egg. I know nobody's got £1 million to spend on a sample, but I tell you what, there's a way that you can nullify that £1 million, and that's by working out what I said earlier about the whole Konami thing. Yeah? I'm not saying 10 as in like years, it's 10 things. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do that. But what is the code? That's all you got to work out is the code. All you got to work out. Back to me. Oh, by the way, do you guys like my my little background? God, I don't know which way to move. It's really difficult. Yeah. It's obviously a Glendronach background that I've got around the edges, and got my little coin here. I think you guys, yeah, it's kind of got a double logo thing going on what you guys can see. It looks good to me though. But on a little bit here, remember, subscribe and check me out on Facebook and Instagram. I like to have fun. I like to, inject a little bit of fun into Whisky Tube. So, pretty much there. Only got one more way to win.
Printer error. Hat coming up in 2 minutes.
Okay. Apparently we've had a massive printer error. Sarah's written out all the names and she's about to cut them up and put them in a hat. So she says give her a couple of minutes. So yeah, running a little bit late on that one. It's really starting to mellow out and it's getting the I'm getting a lot of the leather tobacco-y notes now, which I absolutely love. I can see why some people don't like it, but that for me is like the comfort thing. That's what brings the comfort aspect to me, is that real kind of old, dusty, leathery, like you're walking into your granddad's office with his old bureau. Just, it makes me think about all that kind of stuff. And maybe it's because I grew up when my granddad did have old things like that did smell like that. I don't know if maybe somebody tasting it who was like a millennial or somebody younger would link up the same things, but that's what it means to me, and that's why I get the kind of comfort from it. And I guess that's why different whiskies mean different things to different people, because they have different lives and they connect with things in different ways. you know what I'm finding with this 27? Is it's most definitely not. The last 18 I had was quite sour. It had the lovely notes that I like, the stuff that I've just talked about, the leather and the tobacco, but it lacked it had a more pronounced sour note, whereas this doesn't seem to have it. Oh, where's the hat?
Well, this is the hat.
No, it's not a hat.
Do you want a straw hat?
It's a camping bowl. I thought she was going to bring up one of my hats. You know, like I'm well known for wearing hats, and I'm not wearing one tonight.
Well, I can do.
It doesn't matter.
But all the names are in abbreviations, that I have a key against the proper name. Once the abbreviation is read out, the person whose abbreviation it is will probably recognise it straight away. But for clarification, I will clarify.
Okay,
As
so
soon as you've given
essentially,
out the name.
I'm not going to know who I'm
Who it
pulling
is,
out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Which is better because it makes it fairer.
See, look, I get a pink cup. I wanted a hat. You know, I'm well known for my hats. Where's my hat?
Especially your pink hat.
God damn. Alright, mixing it up. I'm mixing it up. I don't want to pick from the top. And I've got one fell out. PG.
Alright, give me a sec.
She's run away. Who's PG? Who is PG? PG's the winner. Who is that PG person? Oh my god. I'm so excited for PG. And by the way, I just wanted to say as well that it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I am going to really try to get this sample out to you. There's no guarantees that it's going to work. I'm going to do all Alan's tricks. It's going to be like, snow globes, beard oil, whatever. I'm going to try and get these anywhere in the world. And if I fail, if it gets nobbled by customs, whatever, then I have failed, and it doesn't matter. But come to Scotland, and I'll put you up in my house, and we can have a dram together. That's what I'll do.
Paul Gibbs.
Paul Gibbs. Paul Gibbs. I think he's in the UK, so that's probably pretty easy to send to. Paul Gibbs. Paul Gibbs, you are the winner of the first sample.
If he's still watching a bit,
wow.
he's like, oh my god, that's magnificent.
I'm just got to type it in. 'Cause I can. Well done, Paul Gibbs. Awesome. Alright, so that's the first winner. So, God, I've forgotten how many times or how many things there is to win. Are you hanging about for another one? Is that what you want?
I'm just enjoying the show.
Okay.
But that's a bonus.
Yeah, I thought maybe you'd finished. Sarah's gonna pour herself. No, Sarah is not going to pour herself another one because she has a very heavy hand. And if we go to Whisky Camp, let's just note where it is. It's right at the top, people. We have not drunk much. I'm only giving away half of it plus one for Russell. So Sarah only gets another very small one. You like it, yeah?
Oh, it's amazing. It was like the shortest roller coaster ride, but the best one in a long time.
I think it's gonna come to you a bit more now. Here you go. That was a big one. That was a decent one, guys. Let it not be said that Sarah does not get generous pours from me.
You might as well have just showed me a sherry. That's so dark.
It's it is Pedro Jimenez, which is the PX sherry that we had. Is very dark. Okay. Is Paul Gibbs still in? Do we still have Paul Gibbs? He is the winner. I don't see any comments from him. Man the comments. Talk to the people. At Paul Gibbs, congratulations, mate, from Lee J. Brown. Yeah, congratulations, Paul. Where are you? Don't tell me. You've left. Oh my God. How very dare you, Paul, for leaving the live stream. You've just won. hope my slaps were in time. I don't want to get too close to the camera. Kind of fair to knocking it over. Prestige liquids. Goodbye. Goodbye. Have a good day, night. Not sure where you're at. No, you're ahead of us. So you're like just getting up to go work. Probably. I don't know. Anyway, have a lovely day, mate. Lester Brenner says, send it to me and I'll forward it on. No. When was the last time Paul Gibbs was in? Okay, well, Paul Gibbs, well done. You have won the first one. I should have just like written all these out instead of like spreading it all out. It's mental. Okay. We have discussed 6 ways to win. Oh no! Can you hear me now? Yay! And we're back. Technical difficulties because I tried to be too cool for school with the Sony A6400. Give it its due, man, it's done pretty well. It's been sitting there just powering away for ages. But it was too much for it. But I'm sure this Logitech webcam, which I stole from the office, sorry Julian, will do the job just fine. But I've got to have these stupid headphones on because I felt this was the best way that you guys could hear me. Nice, clear sound. You get to hear me drinking. That's the sound that I make when I drink a whiskey. You just can't hear it because the microphone's normally further away. Like a drain emptying. Oh. God damn, that is borrowed. Definitely borrowed it, Julian. Yep, it's the kind of thing you borrow in COVID times. Oh, Greg's Whiskey Guide, he's away. Oh, I probably missed him. See you later, Greg. High five. All right. Good, good, good. Borrowed. Yep. No crackling. Oh, no crackling now. Ooh. So the old thingy microphone's better. Do you know what? I kind of felt like maybe I should have a little Lavalier microphone on, and I might do that now. Yeah, I think as much as the Sony's great for internal sound, I think maybe it's just like too much to push 4K and the sound into the computer, downsample it, and then send it to you guys. I think next time I'm gonna attach a little Lavalier, and I'm just gonna plug it straight into my laptop, and you get super sexy sound. Oh, who just loves the lid behind him? Oh, now that the camera angle's changed, I think people can see it more. Everything's opposite. But there we go. The Whisky Trials lid. That is an actual lid from an actual cask. Not sure which one. That was bought for me for my birthday by Jellyhound in the chat, my business partner Julian. An amazing gift. I did wonder why he asked me about my logo one day, and that was the reason why. And a wee cheeky Glendronach 18 next to it. Empty, of course. Okay, as I was saying, 6 ways to win have been described so far. Don't worry if you have missed them. I'll post them all in the description. Feel free to just phone me up and ask me as well, because you probably won't get a straight answer because I can't even remember them now. I did have them all written down, but that has disappeared, that list. However, I do know the last way to win. The last way to win is, of course, because I'm stealing Aquavite Roy's. Thank you, Roy, for having a break. And actually, mega respect to Roy for putting together the lives that he does, because having done this and preparing for it, this has been because it's my first one, obviously, it's taken a bit more. There's been more of a learning curve. But, man, I've spent a good, I don't know, Sarah will probably tell me, but at least 2 to 3 days working on this, and the sort of build-ups, I want to just do it. So there's the whole kind of stress level, I suppose, that you have to deal with as well. But yeah, muchos respect to anybody that does live events. I know Al does. I think a weekly one. I don't always catch it, Al. In fact, I rarely catch anybody's lives because it's just not within a kind of time frame that I'm kind of doing that kind of stuff. Chris from the Last Drop, he has done a lot of lives as well, some of which I have taken part in. So muchos respect to anybody that does lives. I think they take 1, a lot of effort, 2, a lot of guts, and 3, yeah, just a good bit of organisation and time spent on the whole thing. So well done, everybody that does Whiskey Tube lives. Right, okay, let's do it. So the last way to win, dun dun dun. It's only 20 past 11. It's fine. It's still early. So the last way to win is, of course, let me just get back onto, yeah, we're in the right place. And I switch over to the browser cam. Okay, well, of course, can't switch to the browser cam because you can't hear me because all the audio was going through the Sony camera. But what I'm going to do now, open up my other browser, is I'm going to make the quiz live on the website. So if you go to thewhiskeytrials.com, in about 2 seconds, you're going to see the quiz. Now, don't all rush there. It's all right. You don't need to just fuck off and leave me here alone. There's time, right? And this is how it's going to work. So I've only put together 11 questions, so it should be pretty easy. But I've tried to make the questions a little bit obscure. So you kind of need to be, or hopefully you're a fan, like a Glendronach fan, to be able to do it. So 1, I have put a time limit on it. 2, I have made it so that you can only do it twice. So you will only ever see one question at a time. And if you go through all the questions and you get a couple wrong, you've only got one more chance to get them all right and then submit. So every time you do it, it'll submit. But you need to get 100% right to enter the draw. So all the questions need to be done right, and you need to be under the 10 minutes. So what it's going to do is going to submit it to me and store it on the website, and it's going to enter another draw. Okay, I'm just going to add it just now. That's one of the benefits of being a web developer, I suppose. I can do this kind of shit online and live. And I suppose because I've done it for almost a decade, no, over a decade, I should have the confidence to do it. So I'm just going to check that the changes I made. There we go. Right. So all you got to do is go to thewhiskeytrials.com and you will see an option now in the menu that says Glendronach Quiz. Clicking on that quiz shall enter you into the quiz. You just got to put in your email and your name, obviously, so I know how to contact you if you win. Click next and you'll start the quiz, start the questions. Good luck to you all. And I have neglected my sound effects. And as I poured Sarah a Glendronach 27, I'm going to pour myself one too. And here's a sound effect to help that happen. Still a bunch of flies in here. I think I left the window open last night, so that's why it's happening. So let me just do something then with the whiskey cam. Get rid of the flies. Let's do a there we go, focused. Look how dark that is. Oh, I can see myself in the ball. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I can see my wee robot in the background. He's looking at me. And then shit. Well, I'm gonna put my camera back on, see if it's cooled down. It's cooled down. I'm gonna be back into it. All right. That's awesome. Okay, take them off because they make my ears hot, and I have to wear them at work when I'm working. and I don't like it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I would like to thank everybody for being here, and let me just get what I need back up. I want to have a look. So Sarah, you were saying that there was like 40 people in the chat at one point. Is that right?
Yeah, I tried not to duplicate names, but I think maybe at the most I did duplicate a couple, so I think most you had like 40.
Cool. All right. Well, it seems that we've got still a few people in.
Yeah, you've got at least 20 in still.
And the good thing is that, you know, I've said all the ways to win, so hopefully people have started to disperse out and do those different things that I have said.
Somebody said that your puzzle quiz was nigh on impossible.
Oh, really? Well, that's the point. The whole thing is that it's an Easter egg, right? So let me just. Sorry, I've got to make sure that I'm still. I need to take that off. Sorry, yeah, I was just making sure that there was only one audio input going on there. So, yeah, the Easter egg thing is nigh on impossible. That's the point. I want it to last a little bit. It is one of these things where you guys are going to have to work at it. This is definitely it's cryptic, and it's definitely one of the hardest ways to win. But I tell you what, if you do win it, it's so cool. I really love it. It's such a cool little thing that I've put on the website. It's awesome. I mean, Julian, you're going to love it, but you can't win it.
Russell, you can't win it either.
Russell, you can't win it either. So if either you work it out, don't do it. Don't check out. But okay, let me give you like another little bit of a clue for the people.
Oh my god!
Hung about for
if you're watching.
Yeah. So the people that have followed or like watched to the end, it's not really a clue, but what it is it tells you how to do it. So essentially, when you break the Konami code, what happens is I will tell you a coupon code. It'll miraculously appear on the website, and not only that, a little bit of audio plays if you've got your speakers up, and you'll hear my dulcet tones telling you the coupon code. And that coupon code, of course, goes into the checkout process where you can just knock out that £1,000,000 and check out for free. Absolutely free. Even free shipping. Knock that £1,000,000 right out of the park. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I've covered every way that you guys can win. I will document it in other places. I'll post it on Facebook. I'll post it on Instagram. I'll put it in the description when this video goes live. I don't really know how it works because this is my first live that I've ever done. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me. And I think we're going to do this again. And I think we're going to do it with another amazing bottle to give away. I think this is going to be a theme. So thank you very much. Sonja.
Love you.